Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I thought it might be fun to come on here and do like Stampin' Up calls it a kit together or whatever. So when I saw this fun kit, so it's called Paper Bouquet Kit, I thought, okay, this is actually perfect. It will totally match my office. So I'm going to try and assemble parts of the kit today for you live here. So just before we get started though, and I start like rambling about the kits, because once we start, that's going down that rabbit hole. Today, if you're watching live or even on the replay, today is the beginning of May. So it's May 2nd, and Stampin' Up in celebration of National Scrapbook Day, which is on the 3rd. I do believe it's technically the day, but it is kind of up for not negotiation is not the right word I'm looking for. Everybody, it's a little bit different, right? So typically it does happen the first weekend of May, which is today is Friday, May 2nd, and then May the 3rd. So in celebration of National Scrapbooking Day, Stampin' Up is doing something fun. They just launched their rewards program. It is now launched everywhere. It got like a slow rollout so that it got released in certain countries a little bit sooner, kind of just as a test. And we are now in North America all live too. So, but what that means for you is if you're shopping on May 2nd or 3rd, you get double the rewards from Stampin' Up. So you actually only have to, all you have to do in order to start collecting rewards is you just have to opt into the program. There's no fee from Stampin' Up. There's no fee from me. It is just, you have to opt into the program to start collecting the rewards. So on a typical day, the rewards are 10%, right? On any purchase here in Canada over $25 before tax and shipping, you start collecting your rewards. So kind of for all intents and purposes, it's 20% during May 2nd and 3rd. And so you can use those for any of your future purchases after the one that you're placing placing and getting the rewards for. I hope I just made that as clear as mud, but it's actually super simple. So when you place an order that's $25 or more before tax and shipping, you get rewards put into your account that you can use on your next purchase. You can save them up or you can use them like literally on your next purchase. It's completely up to you how you want to use the program. Everybody's a little bit different, right? Some people like to save it up and then get something bigger or treat themselves, for example. So an example of saving up your rewards might be to save up your rewards and use it as a credit towards album retreat. So, but I think that it's leaked out because I actually think they started posting, but there is an album retreat coming from Stampin' Up. So you all know I'm very excited. So maybe I'll use my rewards towards album retreat. Or you can just cash them in on your next purchase and just use it as like a little bit of a discount off of the next thing that you're buying. But so because this is 2 days and 2 times, I just thought that I would start with that and just let you know that so for May 2nd and 3rd, you can collect extra rewards. The other thing I'll just say too before we start is that on May the 6th, the new annual idea book goes live from Stampin' Up. So if there's things from the old book that you want, make sure to get them before they're gone. There's a whole pile, there's a whole bunch of stuff on like Last Chance and While Supplies Last, all of those lists. And I can actually come back and add them into the comments below. But now let's get on with what we are here for. So I actually think I need to plug in my hot glue gun. And you guys are going to be proud of me because for anybody that watches me, every single time we have a project that requires hot glue, I can never find my hot glue gun. I'm positive there are at least 4 hot glue guns in my house somewhere. But this is the same one. I've had it, I think, for a whole year now. I put it in my office and it's got like, it's in the same spot. I never move it. So it is still here. Okay, so I'm going to on my desk in here, and I'm going to actually have to turn up some lights because, you know, it can get dark. Okay, so I'm going to just warm up my hot glue gun, turn up another light, and okay, because I do know we need that. So that's where I'm going to start. So, but when I saw this kit, so like I said, this is called the Paper Bouquet Kit. And I'm just going to say, this would make an excellent birthday gift, a Mother's Day gift, because Mother's Day is coming up, right? But it's going to match my office perfectly. So it comes, right, shrink wrapped. I have not opened anything. So as always, you guys are going to get to see my mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes. And if I have to order another one to fill my vase, I will. Okay, so that's just the plastic. Then there are these stems that are in the box too. But here is our little brochure. And so the fun thing is all the new in colors are represented in this kit. So the coordinating colors are basic white, cloud cover, darling duckling, garden green, secret sea, summer splash, timid tiger, and green. So I'm assuming the green is, oh, maybe like this. I don't know. Okay. So, but with this kit, we are going to make a very pretty little bouquet for the back of my office. So it'll be up here behind me somewhere eventually. So, and you guys, one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up and the kits are that they kind of like, there's something for everybody, and they're not afraid to like take a chance and try something different and see how it goes. And everybody has like kit togethers where they're getting people together and all of those fun things, right? So how fun is that? Okay, we are going to group our pieces. So these little beads hold, like I think they make the centers. I'm also going to try really hard not to burn myself on camera because I could totally do that. I'm just trying to see. We're just going to dump them there. Okay, so, okay, these are delicate. These are obviously like some leaves here. And then we have some more leaves. So I'm thinking, like we always do, we'll kind of probably try and do one of each. Holy smokes, these are quite thick. I thought for sure this was more than one. It's not though. So they're nice and sturdy. They'll stand up to things. Like I think this would also make like a great hostess gift, right? Like if you were going to a barbecue or to somebody's house for dinner, they would make a nice gift to take with you. Okay, so I'm going to put one of each of the leaves over here. So when we get to them, we have them ready. I do have lots of glue, so, okay. This, okay, these are nice and delicate. They're like tissue paper. Okay, so we have the cloud cover flower. Then we have a summer splash flower. So I'm just trying to be gentle. So I think, ooh, so for the summer splash, I think we need to, summer slush, no? Summer slush? Oh. See, now I'm confusing my own self. Strawberry. Oh, strawberry slush. I don't know why I had summer stuck in my head. Okay, so I'm making a pile with my extra stuff over there. I'm moving my hot glue out of the way. Okay, so we only need 2 of those pink ones. See, isn't this fun to craft with me? Because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so these ones, each flower is 3. Okay, you guys, you got to know that I love this color, right? Okay, so strawberry slush. I was getting strawberry slush and summer splash mixed together. It's all those two word names. Okay. So then we have these crepe paper pieces. I'm just going to set them over here for 1 second. And here is the Timid Tiger color. So I need 2 of these. And we need 3 of these. Okay, so I want to hear, have you guys put this kit together already? And don't laugh at me then as I make my mistakes along the way. Okay, so here's the white. Okay, so just 1 sheet of the white. Okay, so I think we have all our flower pieces. So 1, 2, 3. 2. Okay, so I think we have those all good. Okay, and then we have our cloud cover, 1 sheet of those. Okay, so then I'm just going to move the delicate pieces out of my way. Ooh. They're very dainty and they fly. So, and then, so there's 2 sizes of the bottom pieces. So I'm assuming this is a smaller one. And this has to be a larger one. There we go. Now we can move these to the side. Okay, so now we have the crepe paper pieces. And so this is the Secret Sea color, which is like kind of like a really dark blue. Okay, so some of these are smaller. Okay. So for the gray, we need a smaller one. And the yellow. And we'll set that one aside. And we need, for the purple, a longer Secret Sea one. So this goes for the Timid Tiger one. This is like a little jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so then the yellow ones, there's a shorter one, just like the Secret Sea ones. Okay, and so for this pink one, we need a shorter one. And for the white one, we need a shorter one. I think that's it. And then we need longer ones. So actually, I think one year for Mother's Day, I'm going to just peek around the corner. I can see them. My kids actually did. They both, for 1 year, they had the same, in the same grade, they had the same teacher. I think it maybe was grade 2. I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But I'm pretty sure it was grade 2. So all the art projects are the same for both of them, which I love. And so they made actually tissue paper flowers for Mother's Day. Okay, so we need a long one there. That might be it. Okay, so let's get going. We'll see how we do here. Okay, so, and I think they're assembled all the same, basically. So, you can see we've got our wire, and then we have to pick the appropriate colored bead. And I did actually bring a pair of pliers. So you just bend over your wire, and then we're going to put our bead on here. So we'll go, let's see, we'll go in order. So the white one needs a yellow bead. So we'll just put the bead on there. And then, and I would actually hazard to say you almost don't really even need pliers because the floral wire actually bends really easily. Okay, so you want your bead sideways, and now we're going to hot glue our center on. So where did I say we're going to start? With this one. So we have, Okay, so we're gonna see how many times I burn myself during this process. Okay, these are going to be cute. So now we just wrap it around, and then I'm going to add a little glue bead. Wrap it around. It's actually hard to hold it that far away from yourself and add hot glue at the same time. Right? So you'll just have to excuse all the glue threads hanging off. I'll clean those all up after they cool. And I have my silicone mat down so that nothing sticks. Okay, so now we have the center done, and I'm just gonna let all the hot glue cool on my fingers. Now I'm just going to take my pencil and kind of roll the flowers. And then I'm going to push them. So I'm going to do them all first. And you want to be careful, like I said, because it is just tissue paper. So, you know, like when you do them with like the milled cardstock or even two-tone cardstock, right? You can be quite, rough's not the right word, but you don't have to worry about necessarily being so careful with them. But here you would want to be careful, right? So I'm just rolling them, each petal, in with my pencil. So with the new annual book also going live, I'd love to know who has big wish lists for next week. There's lots of new fun goodies in there. It's always fun, right? When It's kind of hard. It gets hard, right, when you get towards the end of like an annual book. Oop. And it's time for the next one. There's always good and bad, right? You lose things, but then you gain lots of things. Okay, so now we are going to push one of these florals on. And I think I left this too long, so we're going to cut some of it off. Not with my scissors, though. There we go. Now, you can add the petals on. See? Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and then pull it on to place. And we'll just keep adding. And we can add a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to just offset my petals. To make the flower fuller. And then my third one. Okay, and then we can just finish it off with the underneath piece. And I kind of like the fact that they're not like necessarily like real flowers or real flower colors even. Okay, so there's our white one. We'll just set that to dry. Well, not really dry, you know, but cool. Okay, so let's do the yellow one. So we have the little inside piece, the petals on the back side. So I'm gonna, and I need for this one a dark blue bead. So I love that it's kind of a quick project and you can just kind of sit and play with them. This would actually make an awesome color palette also for a scrapbooking layout with florals. So they all go together the same. So we'll do the yellow and then the pink, and then maybe we'll do a couple of the leaves, and you guys kind of get the idea. But what a pretty little project. Like I said, this would be a great Mother's Day gift or hostess gift or birthday gift. Okay, so we're going to take, oh, not that one. It's got a flower attached to it. So we're going to take a wire and we'll put the bead on. We're going to need some more glue here. And I think, like, probably, I'm sure, each one is going to get better and better, right? The more times you do it. Because you kind of figure out how much glue you need, how much time you have before the glue dries, all those fun things. And I'm just trying to not put all my glue in the same spot so that I don't get like a thick spot. So obviously, because there's hot glue involved, you probably don't want kids making these unless you're there to help and supervise. They could roll the petals for you maybe, and you could do the hot gluing part. The strings always, from the hot glue, I did a project like years and years ago that was a Halloween project, and you use the hot glue strings for like spider webs, and that every single time when I play with hot glue, that's totally what it reminds me of. Okay, so we'll pull this up, and I'm just gonna squeeze my wires tight. That is totally always what hot glue reminds me of. So, you know, like if you have the haunted house kit and you wanted to add spider webs to it, you can use the strings, like the cooled strings from your hot glue gun, just to give it that fun, spooky look. So this one, I'm just gently pulling them close to the bead. we go. Now I'll pull on my next layer. Right, and I love the floppiness of this flower. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue into one spot and offset them. Love the contrasting colors. There we go. We'll do another one. So I'm feeding it on. And then I'll pick a spot and add a little bit of hot glue. And then line my petals up. Just like that. So now they're all offset. And then I'll pull on the bottom piece. And now our pretty yellow one is all finished. So we'll just give it a couple seconds to dry there. Okay, so now we'll do this large pink one. So this one has less petals. So I'm just rolling them with my pencil. I'm not applying like crazy amounts of pressure, but and this one's going to get a yellow bead. And it's good with the tissue. There's no wrong side or right side. And it doesn't take a lot to actually get a little bit of movement in the petal. Like I said, just rolling it in the pencil is kind of enough. Okay, so we're going to take another floral wire and we'll create a hook. And put our bead on. And wrap it around. So this one has a much longer center, so it does need to go around quite a few more times. So like I said, I'm just trying to spread the hot glue out a little bit so it's not all clumped in one spot. There we go. You can fluff them up a little bit if you want while it's still cooling. So now I have one of my petals, and I can there we go. Now I can add my next layer. And add a little bit of hot glue and then add my bottom piece on. So it's nice, right? Each flower is like completely finished. So very pretty. Okay, so there are our 3 flowers, and all the flowers are just like a variation of the others. So now we'll just put together a couple of the leaves. So there's these crepe paper ones. I'm just going to kind of mold it a little bit. And I'll grab a wire. And I'll just look and see. This, I think, is the pointier end. So I can add my hot glue onto my wire. I do not need the extra. And I'll just kind of close it over. Right, and then you can bend them how you want once you've got them in your vase. So you guys are going to have to come back and see where they end up behind me on my bookshelf. And I need to find, I want to find like a nice, fun container for them. Right, and these are fun because you can kind of mold them however you need, versus the harder paper, like the crepe paper ones are a little bit easier, right, to mold how you need them. And the paper ones are thicker, right? So they're a little bit harder to bend and alter. Just gonna, the awesome thing, right, about the silicone mat is that literally nothing sticks to it. So I'll just clean up all my glue after, but I'm just going to add it on my stick, and then I'm just going to roll it over. And then once it cools, right, I can clean it all up. Anything that's where I don't want it. Right, and you can bend the leaves how you want them to be in your bouquet. And then there's this one last one here. So same thing, I can just add my hot glue onto my wire, and then I'll just touch it down . Bending. So these ones, because they're a lot thicker, right, you can totally manipulate them with your hands. Okay, guys, that's what I've got for you today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hopefully you will all make some flowers either for your moms or for yourself. And I hope you guys all have an awesome day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.